He thought she was invisible. To him, she was just a maid, someone to serve drinks, clean the tables, and stay quiet. But arrogance has a way of showing itself, and this billionaire wanted everyone in the room to see his superiority. So he tossed a document across the table, smirking, and mocked her. "Translate this. I'll call you boss." The laughter echoed, sharp and cruel. What he didn't know was that the woman he belittled carried a gift that would silence them all. Watch until the end to see how the room turned. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Her name was Naomi, a woman who worked quietly in one of the wealthiest households in the city. Every morning, she polished silver trays, folded linen napkins, and served meals to men who never even looked her in the eye. To them, she was background, someone who existed to make their world easier. But behind her gentle smile and steady hands was a story few knew. Naomi had once been a top student, excelling in literature and languages. But life had been unkind, opportunities had been stolen, doors had been closed. She carried her brilliance in silence, choosing dignity over recognition. That day, the house was abuzz with guests, business people and investors. She stood at the corner, pouring tea, unseen as always. But she felt it coming, that quiet storm of prejudice about to test her. What no one realized was that Naomi was not the person they assumed she was. The billionaire leaned back in his chair, his voice dripping with arrogance. He waved a foreign contract in the air, pretending it was some joke. "Here," he sneered, "let's see if the maid can make herself useful." His words drew chuckles from the table, eyes turning toward Naomi as though she were a spectacle. She froze, the weight of their gaze pressing against her. They didn't expect her to respond. They expected humiliation. They wanted her silence, to confirm their bias. Inside, her heart raced. Memories flickered. Her father teaching her French at the dinner table, her professors praising her essays in German. In these long nights, she practiced Mandarin under dim light. She had worked for years to master 6 languages, but none of them mattered here. Because in this room, she was nothing more than the maid. Naomi glanced at the document. The words weren't unfamiliar. They flowed across her mind like water. But still, she hesitated. Would revealing her gift change anything, or would they laugh louder? The laughter grew sharper, the billionaire tapping his glass for attention. "Well, don't just stand there." She lifted the paper slowly, her hands steady now, eyes locking with his. In that instant, the room shifted. A silence settled, heavy with anticipation. Something no one expected was about to unfold. Her voice rose, clear and confident, cutting through the smug silence. First in French, then German, then Spanish, each line of the contract delivered flawlessly. Gasps replaced laughter as she moved. To Italian, Mandarin, and finally Arabic. Each word landed like a thunderclap, stripping arrogance from their faces. The billionaire's smirk collapsed into disbelief, his glass frozen midair. She wasn't just reading, she was commanding the room. For the first time, they truly saw her, not as a maid, but as a scholar, a woman of immense power and intelligence. When she lowered the paper, silence consumed the table. Then, a single question lingered in the air like smoke. Who exactly had they underestimated? The billionaire looked away, his pride shattered, while the others shifted uneasily in their chairs. Naomi placed the document gently on the table, her expression calm, almost serene. She hadn't shouted, hadn't demanded respect. She had revealed the truth of who she was. That truth echoed louder than any insult. She returned to her corner, not as invisible as before, but unforgettable. And while the men tried to laugh it off, they knew the power dynamic had shifted forever. This wasn't just her victory, it was a reflection of a larger reality. How many brilliant voices go unheard because of prejudice? How many doors are slammed before potential can even knock? The real question is, how many more Naomis must rise before the world finally learns? Which country and city are you watching from? Take care.